going through very difficult condition, but try to stay positive, because for your every positive thought, mind is getting modified. All things depend on our thought. So, whatever you think, your mind tends to that. So try to be positive, because if you worry in any situation, then you will lose your energy. Do something good and adventurous, and do meditation, and try to help people who are around us. This time, every man should stay beside other people. Then we will recover this condition as soon as possible. Now let's come back our subject. Today I will discuss about Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, and this is very important theorem in real analysis, because many theorem depends on this result. This theorem states, let f be a function from ab to close interval ab to r, which is continuous, and let c belongs to open interval ab such that f of a strictly less than c strictly less than f of b. It could be opposite sign, that means it could be f of b strictly less than c strictly less than f of a. Okay? Then there exists, by theorem, there exists always a x belongs to ab such that f of x equal to c. Are you getting this theorem? That means if a function be continuous and if you pick any point between the interval f of a and f of b, then there exists always a point x in ab such that f of x equal to c. Graph is look like, let's consider this is the graph of fx, this is f of a and this is the f of b. If you pick a point c between f of a and f of b, then by theorem there exists always an x such that f of x equal to c. Therefore, we can tell f takes every value between f of a and f of b in the interval ab. That means f takes here every points between f of a and f of b, and for that point there exists always point between a and b. Okay, and if we move this continuity, then this theorem cannot hold. Let's see the graph. This is f of a and this is f of b. If we pick a arbitrary point c from between f of a and f of b, then we cannot get a point x in the interval ab such that f of x equal to c, and this is hold because there exists jump discontinuity. So if the function be discontinuous, so it cannot guarantee this value c exists between a and b. Okay, notice other example. Notice here this function, this is also discontinuity, here a and b, and this is a f of a which correspond the y-axis f of a, and this is the b. For this b, this is the value of b f of b which corresponds the y-axis, this is f of b. If we pick arbitrary point from here, for this point we always get a value in the interval ab. Similarly, if you take point from here, then I will get a value for this point x in ab. Okay, and if you take the point here, since here the jump was discontinuity, so I will move it backward. So for this point we always get a value here. Are you getting? Here the discontinuity exists, but Still, for every point f of a and f of b, there exists always a value between a and b. So, if the function be continuous and it satisfies the other rules, then f takes obviously every value between f of a and f of b in the interval ab. But if the function be discontinuous, then it might contain every value between the interval ab, or it might not contain every value between the interval ab. Okay, that means it is not necessary condition. Now I will discuss one example which had come in PhD exam in 2020 in Indian Statistical Mathematical Institute. The question is, suppose f be a function from ab to r which is continuous. Then for any r1, r2 up to rn belongs to f of ab, prove that there exists x in the domain ab such that f of x equal to r1 plus r2 up to rn over n. Here r1, r2, rn be the member of the range, and we have to prove r1 plus r2 up to rn over n be the also member of the range f of ab. Since r1, r2, rn be the member of real number, because the function f from ab to r, and we all of us know here the r1, r2, rn be the member of the image. So we can always pick this point as an increasing order. That means r1 less than equal to r2 less than equal to rn. Since this is an increasing order, from this relation, if you replace every element in r1, that will be increasing in numerator. So this is always r1 plus r1 up to r1 over n, because here r1 be the smallest element of this number. Similarly, since rn be the biggest element from this relation, so we can replace every element in rn. Then this will be less than equal to rn plus rn up to rn over n. Are you getting this relation? Well, and since here I am adding n term, so I can cancel n. That means this will be r1 less than equal to r1 plus r2 up to rn over n, which is also similarly less than equal to rn. Now notice this relation by Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem. If you have two elements which is inside the range, here r1 and rn always inside the range, therefore the element r1 plus r2 up to rn over n which is between r1 and r2, we always find an x belongs to ab such that f of x equal to r1 plus r2 up to rn over n. Are you getting? That means our proof has done. Have you understood the Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem in better way? Well, now I will discuss intermediate theorem, and this theorem is so important in real analysis because many theorem in real analysis depends on this theorem. Let's see at first the statement of this theorem. This theorem states, let f be a function from closed interval ab to r, which is continuous function. I have assumed. And suppose f of a strictly greater than 0 and f of b strictly less than 0, then by this theorem there exists at least one x in the open interval AB such that f of x equal to 0. And notice this x cannot be the end point because the end point not equal to 0, here greater than 0 and here less than 0. And this is very important in this theorem, here at least. That means there can exist more than one point. Let's see one graph. Consider this continuous function and this is A and this is the B. So the value here f of A and the value here the f of B. Here notice f of A greater than 0 and f of B less than 0. And there exists a point x. This is the x where f of x equal to 0. Are you getting? That means this point cut the x-axis. Now let's see other graph which have more than one point. Consider this. Here notice this is the f of A and this is f of B. And notice there exist 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points which cuts the x-axis. That means x could be countably finite or countably infinite. Okay, are you getting? And one thing notice in this theorem, f of A greater than 0 and f of B less than 0, it could be also opposite signs. Okay, that means actual statement of this theorem given f from AB to R such that f of A and f of B are opposite sign, say f of A greater than 0 or f of B less than 0 or f of A less than 0 or f of B greater than 0. So it is actually the opposite sign. Then there exists x in AB such that f of x equal to 0. And it is sometimes called root finding algorithm in the polynomial function. Sometimes it is also called in numerical bisection algorithm to find the root of the equation. In this theorem, continuity is very important part. If the function continuous and it satisfies this rule, then obviously there exists at least one zeros, means one root fx equal to 0. Now consider a function which is not continuous. Consider fx from 0, 1 to r such that fx equal to 1 when the interval 0 less than equal to x less than half and minus 1 when the interval half less than equal to x less than equal to 1. Here notice a equal to 0 and b equal to 1. Then f of 0 equal to 1 and f of 1 equal to minus 1. Here the sign is opposite. Okay. Now let's see the graph. From 0 to half, the value of the function is 1. And from half to 1, here the point half, the value of the function is minus 1. Here 1, here minus 1. And notice the function has a jump discontinuity. So here the opposite sign has satisfied. But since there exists a jump discontinuity and here the property of intermediate value theorem does not satisfy because here the jump discontinuity. Now consider other function f from the closed interval minus 1 to 1 to from R such that the function fx equal to x from the interval 0 less than equal to x less than equal to 1 and minus 1 from the interval minus 1 less than equal to x less than 0. Here the graph is look like from 0 to 1, here 1, 0 to 1, the graph of the function is x, okay, and minus 1 to 0, here minus 1, the graph of the function is minus 1, this is the minus 1. Notice the graph. Here also jump discontinuity, and notice here the interval f of minus 1 equal to minus 1 and f of 1 equal to 1, and here the opposite sign also. So notice still here jump discontinuity, but there exists a point x which is 0, because f0 equal to 0, which is between the closed interval 1 and minus 1, such that f of x equal to 0. That means if the function is discontinuous, then the property of intermediate value theorem may or may not be satisfied. Okay? Here the continuity has failed, but still there exists a point x in AB such that fx equal to 0. That means continuity and this condition is not necessary condition. If this satisfies, then it is obviously there exists a point such that fx equal to 0. But this is not necessary condition. This is a sufficient condition. Now consider one application of intermediate value theorem. The question is, show that the equation e to the power x equal to 4 cos x has at least one positive solution. At first the equation I have considered it as 4 cos x minus e to the power x equal to 0. That means fx here this. Now we have to find the zeros of the function, and it is very easy to calculate the f of 0. F of 0 equal to, all of us know, 4 times cos 0 means 1, 4 times 1s, and we all of us know e to the power 0 equal to always minus 1, that means the value equal to 3. Here the value is positive, that means at the point 0 the value here 3, and since we have to find at least one positive solution, that means we have to find somewhere else it has a negative solution, negative value. And notice here the function is a continuous function. That means we don't know the graph, but it is look like. And this point the value of the function will be 0. Let's pick the value what will be easy to calculate. X equal to pi over 2. Then f of pi over 2 equal to 4 times cos pi over 2 minus e to the power pi over 2. And we all of us know this is cos pi over 2 always 0. That means this value always similar to minus e to the power pi over 2. Therefore, I have got one value x which is pi over 2, and at that point the value of y it minus e to the power pi over 2. Therefore, I have got a point, and that point the value of the function is 0. Therefore, our proof has done. The equation e to the power x equal to 4 cos x has at least one positive solution. Now, at first let's see one question of IIT JAM. This question is very conceptual. The question is, consider the equation x to the power 2021 plus x to the power 2020 plus up to plus x minus 1 equal to 0. The option is exactly one root is negative. Option 2, all root are positive. Third option, exactly one root is positive. And fourth, no real root is positive. Let's see the question. At first read the equation. This is a polynomial. So fx equal to x to the power 2021 plus x to the power 2022 up to x minus 1. At first let's see the root. That means fx equal to 0. Verify the points 0, 1 and minus 1 at first. What would be f of 0? All would be cancelled. Only left term minus 1. And what would be f of 1? Notice here f of 1. F of 1 will be 1 to the power 2 to 2021, 1 to the power 2022 up to. Only cancel will be 1 and minus 1 for this place. That means f of 1 will be 2022. And what would be f of minus 1? F of minus 1 equal to, here will be minus 1, for this is plus 1, up to this is minus 1, and all term will be cancelled. Only leave minus 1, minus 1. That means the value will be minus 2. Okay? And notice these points are not root here. Now I will use one new method. Here, since minus 1, 0 and 1 are not root of the equation, so we can divide it in 4 intervals. Minus infinity to minus 1, union minus 1, 0, union 0 to 1, union 1 to infinity. Okay? And let's verify, is there exist any root? At first, consider the interval 0, 1. And notice, I have seen f of 0 equal to minus 1 and f of 1 equal to 2020. Since f of 0 times f of 1 is less than negative sign, less than 0, and the function is since polynomial, that means it is always will be continuous. So by the property IVT, intermediate value theorem, we can tell there exists at least one root fx equal to 0. Are you getting the use of IVT? Why this theorem is very important? Here by the theorem IVT, we can tell only there exists at least one root. That means that implies fx has minimum one real root in the interval, open interval 0, 1. Now there exists one technique, and this technique can to call maximum number of positive root, and this is Descartes rules of sign. This states equation fx equal to 0 cannot have more than positive root than the changes of sign, and cannot have more than negative roots than the changes of sign in f of minus a. So here notice there exists only one changes of sign. By Descartes rule, we can tell there exists at most one positive root in the interval 0, 1. Okay? So by IVT, I have seen there exists minimum one root in the open interval 0, 1. And by Descartes rule of sign, I have seen there exists at most one root in the interval 0, 1. That means in the interval 0, 1, there exists exactly one root. In the open interval 0, 1, I have got only one positive root. Now consider the interval 1 infinity. This is the equation we all of us know. This is the polynomial. And notice here always x greater than 1, and for x greater than 1 this part always will be greater than 1, and this is, that means positive here. Since all terms are positive for x greater than 1, so we cannot tell about any root in the interval 1 infinity. Okay. Now I will see for the interval minus infinity to minus 1 and minus 1 to 0. Here Descartes rule will not give any information, because if you apply the number of change of sign in the polynomial f of minus x, then number of change of sign will be here 222. Okay, because by Descartes rule we can get only one information. There exists maximum 220 roots. Okay, and IVB also not used here, because IVB not apply to opposite sign. Now I will apply different type. Here the equation, this given polynomial, at first at 1 both side, then it would be up to x equal to 2. Now multiply 1 minus x with both sides. X equal to 2 times 1 minus x. Just think why I have multiplied 1 minus x in both sides. After multiplying, it would be 1 minus x to the power 222 equal to 2 minus x, which is equal to x to the power 22 minus 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Now I will consider this polynomial as gx. Here I am converting the polynomial fx equal to 0 to gx equal to 0. Okay, that means gx equal to x to the power 222 minus 2x plus 1, and here notice g1 equal to 0. We all of us know the root of fx also root of gx. Since here g1 equal to 0, all root except 1 be the root of fx. So the set of root of gx equal to 0 is the superset of fx equal to 0. Here notice for x less than 0, this is positive because here minus, and this is positive. Since all positive, so gx does not have any negative root. Similarly, since gx does not have any negative root, so it is obviously fx does not have any negative root. That means only third option is a right option. There exists exactly one real root which is positive. Are you getting this method? This is very important for any competitive exam.